Hello, ladies. Hello, girls. I am back. This is your friend, Ebony Phoenix. Aunt Ebony is back with another podcast. I hope things are going well for you, and we will have a different type of podcast today, and you will see why it's different. The title of this is Daughters from the Dust, Girlhood Denied. Let's get into it. Okay, the world wouldn't be what it is without Black women. We have made so many strides for Western society that have benefited really the whole world. Science and mathematics, engineering, the field of medicine. Did you know that LASIK surgery was developed by a Black female physician? Politics. We've made some changes, haven't we? We were the backbone of the civil rights movement. Many contributions in the humanities, literature, music, art, fashion, dance, media. We have Black female film directors and writers and comedy writers, television writers. And music, we have contributed a lot. We've been world players since the beginning. We were the first woman, right? And we always will be. We do a lot of stuff. And that's something to be proud of. Hold your head up, Black woman and Black girl. You got a lot to live up to. And you have a strong history and legacy of excellence. Even when that brilliance was never appreciated in its time, you know it's there. Okay, now here's the thing. Uh, we've always had an issue in the Black collective uh, about, we have this issue where the girls are programmed to be something other than what they genuinely and uniquely are. They are conditioned. Their persons and their identities as women and girls are sacrificed for the good of the dysfunction in the Black collective. The adultification of Black girls begins pretty much after toddlerhood. She's barely out of diapers when the coaching begins. And it continues with each successive child born in the home or until she leaves. God, I hope she leaves early. For Blackistan's dysfunction to continue, the girl's feminine identity, mental health, sexual development, safety, and emotional well-being are sacrificed so that the males can be the immature, sociopathic, opportunistic, useless, dangerous humans they usually become. Not always, but majority rules here, right? The girls are sacrificed with limited lives so that they, the perpetrators, the males, the men, can be limitless predators. Let me show you what I mean. The girls are never encouraged to develop themselves in any way if it does not serve the Blackistani dysfunction, if it doesn't serve the dysfunction of the Black collective. Most little Black girls are never given the chance to leave the dysfunction anyway. Their mothers mold them into another person who will toe the line. And no one ever asks these Black girls what they need, let alone what they want. And that's a shame. Let's talk about one of the largest, the most powerful institutions in the Black collective. Even though many young people in the Black collective are unchurched. Now, I'm going to give you a disclaimer. I am a church person. I consider myself to be a follower of Christ. And so I can speak to this with some authority. So let's talk about the church. Now, Jesus always took up for women. Remember that story of, some woman was caught sneaking out on her hubby, okay, and they wanted to stone her to death because that was the law. And when all the guys picked up their stones and they were ready to, to pummel this poor woman to death, Jesus said to them, okay, any of you, any of you who've never done anything wrong in your life, clean conscience and everything, never committed any wrongs in your life, you cast the first stone. And you know what happened? All of them put the stones down and went away because they knew Jesus was going to ream them and basically call them out. This was a public lynching. Jesus stopped it. Now, Peter and some of the other apostles had some problems with the female leadership that was starting in this small Jewish sect after Jesus was crucified, okay? And they weren't taken too kindly to the women running things because basically it was a patriarchal society, strictly patriarchal. And, Judaism is still in some ways patriarchal. So it's better. It's a lot better now. I mean, there's different types of Judaism. There's Reform, there's Orthodox, there's different types of Orthodox and conservative. But the apostles had more problem with women than Jesus did. That's my point. And this is pretty much for all the church people out there. And look, the church should be a space of freedom, but it's not so free for the women in Blackistan, regardless of denomination. Now, Jesus had a lot of female disciples, and so did Apostle Paul. Paul had no problems with the women. Now, a lot of people like to take a verse out of one of the Pauline letters and say, well, women shouldn't talk in the church. Well, there's some context to that. There were these chickas who were causing a lot of discord in a small developing church, and Paul just said, hey, just don't even let those two women do their thing over there because they are sowing division and they're causing confusion. That was it. It depends on how you interpret. And people interpret biblical passages out of context, and they tend to do it literally to serve themselves. If you have a problem with female leadership, you're going to take that verse out of context and just throw it at every woman who comes in the door. Now, in terms of the Black church, Black women make up most of the congregants. I mean, they support the church. They keep the church functioning because, I'm going to be honest, you don't see very many men in there. Now, unfortunately, a lot of the women are in church praying for husbands, and that ain't happening. But they are there. The church exists, and it continues because of the women. Black girl identity erasure starts in the church. And a lot of it has to do with tradition and very little to do with doctrine. Let me say that again. A lot of the erasure of the identity and the individuality of Black girls starts in the church, has nothing to do with doctrine and everything to do with tradition. And another thing about the church, there are many sexual predators in the church, mostly male. Some are female, but they're mostly male, and they usually get away with what they do. Someone in the church of my girlhood tried to trap me in the pastor's study after asking if I was a virgin. And of course I was. I mean, what am I going to do? I mean, I wasn't interested in anything but books at that time. And I guess he picked me for an ideal victim, and I was not his victim. I walked the heck out of there, free and clear. You can too. Your identity in Christ is different than your identity in the church. And this is for the church people. So people who are atheists, agnostics, or Buddhists, whatever, otherwise, close your ears for now. Your identity in Christ gives you love for yourself, love and freedom, love for others. You can be genuinely who you are as an individual, okay? When you accept yourself and others. Blackistani church practices want to erase the genuine you and place you in bondage to traditions. Your hair, they police everything. Your hair, your makeup, your clothes, your shoes, your speech, your opinions. And a lot of women and girls have been coerced into sexual servitude to the male elders of the church. What the? No. Has nothing to do with Christ. Nothing to do with love of yourself and church. It has everything to do with his ego and his penis. He just finds a way to justify it, and there's no justification for that. A leader should not prey on the vulnerable followers. Now, due to a myriad of things, many girls run away from abuse in their homes and they become victims to someone else. This society is not set up to care for the young and vulnerable, especially young and vulnerable women. Many women sacrifice their girls and themselves for a paycheck. At least he's bringing home the bacon, right? So yeah, give him your daughter. This is just not acceptable. This is wrong. It's morally wrong. It's immoral. It's gross. And I'm sure something like that makes the wonder of the universe cry and weep in sorrow. Jesus said it would be best for you to tie a millstone around your neck and freaking drown than hurt a vulnerable child or a vulnerable person. That includes people with disabilities. But it's done a lot of times under the cover of the church. So basically, Blackistan makes soldiers out of women and girls, and they are constantly expected to pay the ultimate price plus tax, for which they gain nothing in return. But pain, struggle, if you get enough STDs, you can become sterile. You get poverty, baby mamas. Baby mamas are stuck in poverty. Even married women are stuck in poverty. There's a loss of trust for the elders in the church and everybody else. Loss of trust. The young woman or girl loses trust in her ability to make good decisions. There's loss of confidence. And there's death due to collateral damage. Hello, Breonna Taylor. Rest in peace, sweetheart. Or they directly target you. Remember, look on the U.S. femicide page. Rosa, love you, love you, love you. And thank you, and Cha-Cha and everybody for what they're doing there. There have been almost about 1,500 homicides of Black women and girls in this country so far. That's just the United States. And they haven't stopped counting yet for 2021. So what does that tell you? What does that tell you? Don't be collateral damage. You're better than that. Your life is worth something, Black woman, Black girl. You are worth everything. And they treat you like trash. What about the boys? A lot of people like to say, what about the boys? What about the boys? Okay, the boys, what about them? I am concentrating on the well-being of Black women and Black girls. So many of us are missing. So many of us are trafficked. And those who are not missing or dead, trafficked, they face a lot of hurdles in Blackistan, in the Black collective. They face a lot of hurdles. You could get murdered, raped, raped and murdered, dumped, pump and dumped, out of wedlock kids, multiple STDs if you just sleep with a guy once. Come on. You're better than that. You're worth more than that. Auntie Ebony can see it. Even she can see it. And you know the universe sees it. Sees your value. This conditioning and programming is to make the lives of the men and the boys better at your expense. Don't give them anything else. Think about yourself and any future babies that you may want. You don't want to raise them in this, I'm sure. And I know a lot of Black women will say, well, I got through it. She can go through it. That is, you can't love somebody and say something like that. You're a selfish witch. Our girls deserve better. So what are you going to sacrifice? Now, you got to make sacrifices to get out of Blackistan. So sacrifice Blackistan and get your butt away from it. Bring yourself some peace, health, wholeness, and happiness, you beautiful being. Grieve for your girlhood. Not many of us get to be girls. I was taking care of 3 kids under me when I was 7 years old, left at home with them. The past is gone. You can keep some of the good it gave you, though. I mean, survival skills. And a lot of it's bound up in post-traumatic stress syndrome. You have got to think about yourself. And the only thing you should be willing to sacrifice is Blackistan. Give up that pain, though, that Blackistan has caused you. You will find that those crazy survival skills do not help you thrive. They help you survive, but they don't help you thrive if you're out of Blackistan. So you won't really need them. Get some help. Get some therapy so you can become peaceful and whole in your life and in yourself and gain confidence. Let yourself know that, yeah, I'm worth it. Who cares what Blackistan says about you? You're fat, you're Black, your hair's too nappy, your nose is too broad, your lips are too big, you got acne, you're short, whatever. You're short, you're skinny, you're this and that. You're more than that. Go back and look at my podcast, The Birthrights of Girlhood, of Girls. Yeah, and that'll show you, I hope it shows you, just how special you are. I want you to be at peace, and I want you to be whole, and I want you to have hope. There's no hope in Blackistan. There's no hope in the Black collective. It has nothing to give you. It wants to suck all the life out of you to keep up the crazy. Get rid of that crazy. You don't need it. You're better than that. You deserve more. So what are they going to do if you leave? They won't date you. Heck, they don't date you now. Disparage your image. How many booty videos have we seen in the past 30 years of Black women with their behinds next to the camera? Meek Mill's lovely bust mural. Invalidate your womanhood. They do that every day. They turn you into soldiers. They make you masculine. You got to advocate for them, not for yourself. What the? Really? Advocate for your children. Let the men advocate for themselves. So what are they going to do? Call you some names, bitch, or worse? Have you listened to hip hop music? They call you a lot worse in there. I mean, you lick that mess up and you buy it. Don't buy that crap. It's not worth it. They're getting the same thing. You're sacrificing your money to be disparaged. You are giving these people money to make music like tip drill and all these horrible, horrible images of black women in music and videos. They're going to take your resources. Yeah, they're doing it. You're paying for that hip hop music, babe. You paying. And you know what else is a resource? Your sexual currency. There are men preying on young girls right now. They're taking that. That's messing up the girls, and they do not get any help. So black women trauma bond. Trauma bonds are not stable. Trauma bonds are not stable. Remember from chemistry, there's the ionic bonds, covalent bonds, stuff that stick the atoms together. Okay, if you're gonna trauma bond with somebody, that is not a stable bond because she is not stable. Only when she becomes whole can you can have a true girl friendship. So what the black men are gonna tell you, we're gonna date out because you bitches are ugly and that. Okay, you know what? You're not ugly. You never were. They date out anyway. So you might as well take yourself, your skill set, and your lovely self and walk the hell out. The only power that those dudes have is what you and other people give them, and mainly what you give them. Take your power back and turn your back on that dysfunction. You better. Mo better blues. You mo better. You are mo better. You've got a lot to offer. Breonna Taylor's short, beautiful life snuffed out because she was dealing with the wrong dude. And a lot of you deal with the wrong dude. Stop dating these guys. Get yourself together first. Get your head together. Get your duckies together. Get your money together. Get your bag together. And take it somewhere where they won't wring everything out of you. It's not enough just to say, I'm just going to date somebody else beside black men. No, that's not enough. You got to care about yourself enough to not let anybody, no wiggers, nobody, don't let anybody treat you like trash because you are not trash. From the day you were conceived, you were special and you had something to offer. You're not trash. Don't let any man and any woman treat you that way. Turn your back, baby. Now, if they have a gun, don't turn your back, run somewhere, zigzag, and get the hell out of there. Don't stay where you are not wanted and appreciated. What's love got to do with, baby? I don't love them. I don't love them. They don't love me, and I don't love them. We can just pass ways. We can just pass each other. We don't care. Okay? They're not going to take care of me, and you know what? They didn't take care of me. I had to scrap ever since I was a little girl for safety and love, and never got it. Not really. And I wasn't even trying to go to the wrong people. I was trying with my parents. I was trying with relatives. And I found love outside of the Black collective. Anyone who wants to exploit you and use you for what you can give them, I don't care if it's sex, money, whatever, they don't love you. They don't love you. They're just there for the time being. You deserve better than that. So, we are daughters and teachers and masters. Remember, Black woman, Black girl, you are made of stardust. So stop being afraid of Black men and boys. Get the hell away. You know what? Why are you afraid of them? They need you. They need you. What can they do to you if you are not around them? Save the rest of your life for yourself. Divest. And think of yourself. Think of your well-being. Don't be another statistic out there for Black Femicide US to count you when you're dead in a grave because Bobo, you're breaking up with Bobo. You told him to move out of your place, and he just comes back with a 9mm. You're better than that. Take heed, take thought, and I wish you peace, light, and happiness because Aunt Ebony is here to bring it to you because you deserve it. You are a light within yourself. Don't let Blackistan stuff it out. So that's all I have for now. Please like and subscribe the video and take care. Love, peace, and light to you. And look up some other YouTubers who are true divestors. Divested Zealot is one. Alexis Exodus, please, 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 please. Look at those ladies. They are telling you the truth. Please visit and contribute to Black Femicide US. Those ladies need all the help that they can get from Black women because they're trying to help Black women. Okay, that's all Aunt Ebony has for now. Peace, love, and light. Bye-bye.